Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you've been well. Today I'm going to share with you the lessons I learned from making 60,000 outbound cold calls. No lead list given to me. I had to go find all the prospects myself. When I first started in tech sales over 5 years ago as a sales development rep, cold calling was one of the hardest skills I had to learn because I didn't fully embrace it. I finished bottom of the leaderboard that very first month out of 34 reps or so. A mentor told me, Trent, cold calling is never going away. You may as well get as good at it as you possibly can. And that's exactly what I did. I fully embraced it. I learned a lot by making over 60,000 outbound cold calls. I went on to promote 6 times at the same tech company to a senior account executive. And today I'm going to share with you the 4 specific insights or lessons that I learned along the way. Lesson number 1 is the less you think, the better. Imagine a flame, and the flame is right here. And if you don't take action, the flame gets bigger. And that flame looks like the fear and anxiety and worrying about what could go wrong. But if you do take action and actually just press call, it's like putting the cap on a candle and the flame goes out and you're making things happen. When I first started calling, I would sit there at my desk and I'd be looking at the prospect's LinkedIn page, the company website, the Salesforce account history, thinking I was doing my due diligence and my research, developing a point of view, exactly what I can say to amplify the pain so that I could increase my odds of setting the meeting, right? And then the girl next to me who had been working 8 months longer, she said, Trent, what are you doing? I said, research. She's like, that's the biggest mistake you can be doing. Press call and figure out what to say afterwards. And I promise you, the less you think about diving off the diving board and you just go headfirst in the pool, the better off the dive is gonna be. If you've ever heard Will Smith talk about skydiving for the first time, he explains being so nervous, having so much anxiety. He couldn't eat breakfast. He couldn't enjoy his day until he got up in the plane. And the moment he dives out of the door, he tried to hesitate. It was pure bliss on the other side. So the very thing he was fearing the most, actually, there was no fear as he actually took the action. So you fear making the cold call more than you fear actually being on the cold call. So the less you think, the better. Just press call and figure out what to say afterwards. The next lesson is what you say isn't as important is how you say it. When I first started dialing in the office, I'm arm's reach away from multiple different reps and everyone's calling, but when somebody gets on a call and you get that prospect, everyone's sort of listening. So you're worried as a rep about sounding stupid, failing, freezing up, and overall you're just getting in your own way. So nervously, I would get on the phone and I would speak really fast. Everyone said I sounded like a used car salesman because I didn't really know what message I was trying to say. I was so focused on the words and reading my script that it was just an absolute disaster. Over time, things start to slow down. It's like that rookie NFL quarterback throws all the interceptions, but the game starts to slow down. Eventually, as you start making more calls, the field slows down and you really hear what the prospect's saying. You don't allow them to rush you and you know what you're supposed to do, and you're focused more on your tone, pitch, inflection. This is easy advice to give, but hard advice to actually implement and act upon. So what I would recommend is go pull a list of all the live conversations you have had in the last 30 days. Go listen to those conversations and ask yourself, is this organic? Am I speaking in a way that actually resonates with people, that makes sense, that gets the point? How is my tone, pitch, inflection? Am I taking pauses? Am I actually getting to the point? Am I using upward and D-word inflection in the way I'm sharing my message? And it's really important to do this because that's how we like to communicate with others. The third lesson is that you need to have full conviction in the reason why you are reaching out. So take, for example, the Warriors versus the Kings for the basketball fans out there. Steph Curry, before Game 7, gave a speech to his team and he said, if you were getting on the bus today to go to Sacramento, you are accepting that you will do whatever it takes to win this game today. I want you to apply that mentality to your next cold calling block. I am here to do whatever it takes to set the meeting. And what does that look like for you in your job? Are you B2B? Are you B2C? What are you selling, and what is the objective for you reaching out? Is it to sell time to set up another meeting? Are you trying to one call close them on the phone? Possible, and we can talk about that if you need. Have a definitive reason why you are reaching out. There's nothing worse than when you get a prospect on the phone and you say, hey John, and they say, yeah, speaking, or they say, they kind of indicate to you that maybe it's not the person you know you're reaching out to. I always talk as if that is the person I know that I'm supposed to be reaching out to. I call them knowing that based on the due diligence I had done in my prospecting, I feel very confident that they either can help benefit me in the sales cycle, they're someone that would actually benefit from the solution, they can help me get in front of the economic buyer. I have a definitive reason why I'm reaching out to them. Maybe they spoke with my company in the past. Maybe they just got promoted into this new role. The more specific I can be, especially when I get them on the phone, because I open every cold call with the reason I'm calling you specifically is maybe you oversee the specific role, the buyer persona that you know benefits most from your solution. Maybe you just sent them an email and you want to say, hey, I just sent you an email and da 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 da. So always have a true reason, purpose, absolute conviction for why you are reaching out, and it will increase your odds of actually getting that desired outcome you had before picking up the phone. And the fourth and final lesson is that ideas are easy, execution is hard. We can talk all we want about theory, about cold calling scripts, about best practices, subject lines when you're sending emails. None of that actually matters unless you are putting in the work. You have 5 business days in a week, 2 cold calling blocks every single day, morning, afternoon. Everyone agrees those are the highest answer rate times. That gives you 10 cold calling blocks in a week. So if you don't call on a Friday afternoon because, hey, I'm going to happy hour earlier, you don't call Monday morning, everyone's getting loosed in from the weekend here. They don't want to speak with me. There are Monday morning meetings. You're losing out on your total output capacity. You don't need to be the most talented sales rep to still produce at a high level if you are showing up consistently each and every day. And that is all that matters. That's why those first 9 months when cold calling was so hard for me, I decided I'm going to make 100 cold calls every single day. And that's what led to me feeling intuitive when I am making the cold calls. If you enjoyed today's video, comment the phone emoji down below. I'd love to hear that from each of you guys. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. I'll be sure to respond to that, or you can direct message me on LinkedIn. Subscribe to the channel now if you haven't already because it helps with notifications on, and I will talk to you in the next video.